Criticizing how my girlfriend takes job interviews. Me and my girlfriend are moving to another state, so she's job hunting right now. Her first interview, she had a call with a top company whose recruiter messaged her on LinkedIn. She spent a full hour grilling the company on its engineering practices and then withdrew her application. The next few calls with companies, she grilled them all and decided against moving forward with 4 of the 6. I said I think she's making a mistake, being picky, and she's gonna ruin her reputation. She said she wasn't making enemies, and if anything, it made her a hotter commodity. I still felt like it would hurt her reputation long term, but she said it wasn't a power play. For criticizing how my girlfriend takes job interviews. The next interview I overheard started a big argument. Both her and the interviewer were laughing, and he was telling her a story about one of his coworkers. He said he fell off a barge into the river working on a project. She said, as funny as that is, that's honestly kind of messed up that they put y'all in danger, and I'm going to have to withdraw my application. She said to me, damn, people really tell on themselves if you just listen and smile. I said she did it a little prematurely and should have asked if they changed that. I asked if she was getting cold feet, and she said no, this is just how you interview at her level. I said that was BS, and she's sabotaging herself.
I, 27 male, found risque photos of my wife, 26 female, on my friend's 27 male phone. First of all, we've been married for almost 3 years now, and this friend of mine is also a mutual friend. We've known each other since college for many years, but I consider him to be pretty close to my wife and I. Basically, a few days ago we were hanging out. Friend, myself, and a few other friends, and I incidentally saw his gallery on his phone while I was using it. I was changing songs on Spotify on his phone and incidentally saw his other apps running while switching apps. Immediately there was like at least 10 to 20 pics in his gallery of what seems to be risque selfies of my wife in lingerie. No full nudes, and they looked like they were taken in our bathroom. I of course have no knowledge of these kind of pictures, and I immediately took my friend outside and called him out on what I just saw on his phone. I was also about to call my wife about it, but he stopped me and said that it was all him and that he stole it off of her phone. He said that she had nothing to do with it. At the heat of the moment, he kept apologizing, but I don't think I took in too much of the explanation. And the night obviously ended sour. Didn't say anything else to him or any of our friends, but went home and I immediately told my wife, who was appalled and shocked about it all. Now I don't know what to do, and I feel like I'm still in a bit of a shock on what's going to happen since it's been a few days and I haven't talked to my friend who's been texting me, but I just told him that I'll talk to him when I feel ready. If I recall right, in his explanation, he said he literally saw the photos by accident while trying to fix something on her phone and he didn't resist and save them, but then forgot about it or something like that. The thing is, we've known each other for a while and I honestly don't know where to go with this friendship. Since he's also my wife's friend, her opinion is just to forget that it ever happened and move on. But in my mind, I don't know. I don't know if I should even try to hear his explanation again. I feel like I'm not thinking straight right now and I need help. What should I do? My husband of 5 years asked me for a threesome with my best friend and she agreed. I, 26 female, met my husband, 35 male, 7 years ago, and we have been married for 5 of those years. I love my husband and all that he's done for me, but I fear that my marriage and my relationship with my best friend is now over. Not to mention, I just found out that I'm pregnant and this only started happening after I told my husband. He was very much on board with having a child with me and we've been trying for around 6 months. For context, my best friend, 28 female, Mia, knew my husband before me and they were incredibly close before I even knew him. When I first met my husband, I suspected there was something going on between them, but they always denied it. However, they admitted while they were drunk that they were indeed sleeping together before I got with my husband. Even though it's not important now, it still plays on my mind, you know? Especially considering what just happened. 2 weeks ago, my husband suggested a threesome for the first time and I was already not on board with it. I quickly said no and hoped he'd never bring it up again. 2 days after, he suggested it again, and I once again declined. He asked that night after we had sex once again, and I said no. After that, he stopped asking me and I thought that was the end of it. However, 3 days ago, he asked me out to lunch and I was pretty excited considering he never takes me out on dates anymore. When we got to the restaurant, my best friend was sitting there and was confused because he never mentioned that she'd be there. The vibe was weird from the start, to be honest, but I tried not to think of it. Halfway through the lunch, my husband asked me again. I want to consider the idea of a threesome again, and I thought it would be a good idea if Mia was involved. I didn't know what to say. I asked Mia if she knew about this and she said yes and that she'd known about this plans for over a month. I was devastated. I said no, paid for my meal and left with my car. I feel so betrayed and hurt right now and I have no words. This man is meant to be the father of my child, but I can't even look at him. I've been staying with my mom and he's been phoning and calling me dramatically and saying that he'll drop it. Mia has been spamming me too, saying the same thing. I don't know what to do. My boyfriend said I don't truly love him if I'm not letting him live his life, including flirting with other girls and dating others. We've been together on and off for 5 years. Met in 2018, and 3 months later I found out that he was talking to someone else. Then he went to another country and we were long distance. I've always worried that he would leave me. I'm not good enough because of my mental health. I found out that he was going on dates with another girl in said country from a gut feeling. Ended up with him confessing that he wants to break up. We broke up in June 2019, but after stalking, I realized that they had been dating since March 2019. I was turned and became obsessive with their relationship. We didn't speak for a whole year. Reconnected early 2021 after they broke up. Started dating and it was okay, until I broke down knowing that he was going on an exchange to another country this year. I told him my fears about him finding someone else and replacing me. He said I'm too insecure, and he doubted if I really love him. He said love should be unconditional, and I should be happy if he's happy. He said he wants freedom, and he wants me to be in his life forever. But why can't I be happy if he's happy dating other girls? Why would I limit his life? He said it to me as if it's a favor that he didn't see anyone else this past 2 years. He even told me out of frustration that he would just rather live his life, date, and sleep with other girls, and if I truly loved him, then I would stay. I can't let go of this, and I'm feeling extremely depressed. All my friends are polyamorous, so I suspect that they would think that this is okay, and I'm an asshole for limiting my boyfriend's life experience. So, am I in the wrong for feeling this way?
Am I wrong for refusing to let my sister have my wedding dress? I, female 26, was supposed to get married to my fiance, 30 male, on August 17, but he passed away suddenly in a car accident a month before. It was so devastating and pain is pretty much raw for me. I moved back with my parents to get familiarity and support. My parents have been so helpful, but my twin sister and I aren't so close. She's engaged and getting married before the end of this year. She keeps ranting about her future in-laws expecting her to pay so much money for the venue and invite many guests. She said her fiance can't afford much, and last week, she and my mom asked if she could have my wedding dress to wear at her wedding. I was shocked by her request, but didn't react intensely. I just politely declined. Why would you want to wear your sister's wedding dress? I explained to them how this dress has personal attachment and value after they said that the wedding didn't happen anyway, and I didn't get to make memories in it, which was hard to hear. An argument ensued, and my sister called me selfish and unsupportive, and my mom sided with her and said I was wrong and that this dress will only stay hanging in the closet if I don't do something with it since my fiance isn't coming back, and I refuse to move on even though it hasn't been that long. Dad is on my side, but I started feeling like maybe I'm not being helpful seeing my sister struggling and needing help. Mom said this might make or break our relationship for the years to come, especially when I don't have many people around me after this loss. Am I the asshole for refusing to let her have it? By the way, the dress cost me $2,200 that I'd save up on my own. They claim I'm refusing because of its price and even went as far as to say that I must be planning on selling it or expect them to pay for it. Live within your means. Why are you having a wedding that you cannot afford? Go to Macy's, some girl. Go to Shein. Go online. Go to Fashion Nova. Get a wedding dress you can afford. That is not her problem. I never understand people like this. Am I wrong for calling the bride a slut at the wedding reception? Oh shit. I, 22 female, went to a wedding recently for my friend's 22 female cousin. My friend brought me along for emotional support since she was being forced to go. My friend didn't like her cousin at all because, simply put, the cousin is horrible to my friend. She would make fun of my friend's appearance, which included anything from weight, hair, skin, etc., despite my friend being drop-dead gorgeous. This has led to her having major self-esteem issues. On top of that, there was a 10-year age gap between my friend and her cousin, 32 female, meaning it was literally at one point an adult bullying a child. Friend's cousin is also just an awful person in general, the quintessential racist, but I have black friends, mean girl who gossips and fights with everyone. However, my friend's parents believe that family is forever no matter what, so she was dragged to the wedding, meaning I got dragged along as well. The ceremony happened and we moved to the reception. Everything was going surprisingly smoothly until I started dancing with one of the groomsmen on the dance floor. Bride didn't like this apparently. I know because she came up to me and asked me what the hell I thought I was doing. I was confused and asked her what she meant. She asked me why the hell was I all over him meaning the groomsman. I didn't know why she was upset about it. After all, she had a new husband that she should be celebrating with. My friend intervened after she noticed the bride talking to me angrily. The bride turned to my friend and asked her why she brought this slut to her wedding. I wasn't too surprised given the stories I've heard about her, but nevertheless, that still stung. My friend told her to back off and not to say that to me. Bride said that I was indeed a slut for dancing with the groomsman. My friend explained to me that the groomsman that I was dancing with was her ex-boyfriend. I turned to the bride and told her that she just got married to another man, so it wasn't like she wanted her ex back. Why would you be okay with one of your husband's groomsmen being your ex? Why was the guy even okay with it? That's weird AF. She then told me that the chances are still high and that I have no right to put my hands on him. I laughed and said, "Oh, so you're the one that's actually a slut." Bride lost it, screaming at me, cursing at me, crying while her husband was trying to escort her away. And all the while I was laughing my ass off. I had a few drinks then. My friend had escorted me back away to our table. Now that the alcohol has worn off, as much as I hate her, I feel like I may be the asshole for saying that to the bride at the reception. According to my friend, she has been getting calls and texts from angry family members asking the both of us how we could ruin the bride's big day.
Staging my wife in our Christmas cookie baking tradition. My 25 male wife, 23 female, and I have a tradition every Christmas where we bake Christmas cookies. We then share them with friends and family. Every year, my wife would take on the bulk of the baking duties, insisting that only she knew how to bake them right. and she would only let the helpers frost them. This baking marathon would usually last until the wee hours of the morning and start around noon. This year, she wouldn't be available on the day we normally do it, so I said I was more than capable. She seemed to think I was joking and that I could never do it myself, and I said I'd give it a try. Then she sarcastically wished me good luck. Staging my wife in our Christmas cookie baking tradition. Well, in the run-up to the days of baking and frosting, I started running drills to optimize production. I rearranged the house and also ran tests on the dough we were using. I wanted to see how long it took to bake and run it by some taste testers. Come the day of baking, I have everything down to a science. And as family and friends came in, I gave them the rundown. Cookies were flowing at rapid paces, and eventually we started running out of material. And this had never happened when my wife made them. So we had to go to the store for more material, and by the time we were done, we were exhausted at 2 a.m. We produced 5 times the amount of cookies we had ever before. And now my wife is pissed because she thinks I was trying to upstage her.
This is why you should never go to sleep early. Once there was a girl named Rebecca who shared a bedroom with her sister. But one night something terrifying happened. Something no one can explain. Her sister would always go to sleep early because of work, but one night Rebecca felt exhausted from school, so she decided to sleep early too. She could have never expected the horrifying things this would lead to. When she opened her bedroom door, the lights were already off and her sister was in bed. She asked, "Are you asleep already? I still have to shower." Her sister replied, "Lie down. It's too late, shower in the morning." Rebecca said, "No, but her sister interrupted her. "I said, lie down." This time her voice was much angrier. Annoyed, Rebecca went into the bathroom anyways, but found someone was already in there. Then her mom came out of the living room. "Dad's taking a long time in there, huh?" Rebecca said, pointing to the bathroom door. But her mom looked confused. "No, he's in the living room with me watching TV." Rebecca stopped. That's when the bathroom door opened and her sister stepped out. To this day, Rebecca still wonders who was in her bedroom and what would have happened if she had lied down like it told her to.